We did try to execute some deals. I want to let our fans know, look, man, we know we need shooting. We haven't shot the ball well this year. We need to do better.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. You watch a High Tide Jet, ride the tide, and subscribe. Today, we're going to be reacting to Orlando Magic's president of basketball operations, Jeff Weltman's interview with Open Mike. I can't pronounce this guy's last name. Mike Bianchi. I think that's how you say it. Anyways, he interviewed Jeff Weltman right after the Magic did nothing at the trade deadline. Like, the least you could have done is trade a second-round pick for something. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to be reacting to it here. And, yeah, let's just get this over with. I kind of fast-forwarded it because it's like one of those old-school radio stations where it's like a bunch of commercials and stuff. So, anyways, let's get to it.
Make any moves. Jeff Weltman. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Coach Bianchi, always grateful to be here, man. You guys are
All right, Jeff, there's an old saying, no news is good news. I also believe no moves are good moves at the NBA trade deadline because that means the team likes what they have. Is that an accurate assessment as to why you guys didn't make any moves?
Yeah, I would say in a nutshell that is. Obviously, there are a lot of factors that go into that, but, I appreciate you saying that. I think, the first thing about the trade deadline is when you're struggling as a team entering the deadline, you kind of know you're going to get squeezed. That's just the way it works. And so we kind of went in with our antenna up a little bit. And we did try to execute some deals. I want to let our fans know, look, man, we know we need shooting. We haven't shot the ball well this year. We need to do better. But we've played 58 games this year, and our three best players have played 6 games together. So while we did engage in some discussions, even with some highly significant players, and a whole spectrum of lesser players, we just didn't feel like the right deal shaped up. We felt we were getting squeezed. We felt some of the deals would have been burning.
So he's pretty much saying that Jalen Suggs getting back into the lineup is going to help this offensive struggle, that the shooting is just going to miraculously fix itself, and we're not going to be dead last in offense. Even though when I checked yesterday, I think we were 29th. The Wizards were 30th, so we're not dead last. We're second to dead last.
Long-term assets like first-round picks for kind of short-term solutions where we slap a Band-Aid on the problem and maybe that player isn't with us in a year. And so, we elected to sit tight and hopefully we get Jalen back soon and kind of look to play the way we were playing not too long ago, in the good old days of 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Right. All right, so you say teams...
Even the host of the show is laughing like, haha, okay.
Teams try to squeeze you when you're struggling near the trade deadline. Do you ever get like... And do you ever have people say, hey, is Paolo and Franz on the block? Do you ever get ridiculous...
I might have to speed this up a little bit.
Questions like that?
Yeah, I mean, teams always probe and try to understand, like if who would be willing to discuss. Look, I think this in a league where, Luka Doncic can get traded, I think anything is open, but obviously
it's not letting me
teams
speed
know
it up.
that we are, married to our guys, that we believe greatly in our team.
Yeah, we know that.
In the way that we're kind of built.
You don't got to tell us that,
so,
Jeff.
They know that those are pretty much non-starter conversations. But guys are always, throwing some crazy stuff out there. That's not where most of the conversation usually lands, though.
You guys talk a lot. You just mentioned that the way this team is built, and you and Coach Mosley and the players themselves talk about how close-knit this group is, and chemistry and camaraderie and culture and all of those buzzwords. How much did
buzzwords calling his BS out. Honestly, that's what they're trying to do, but in a nice way.
Did that
And you know what I'm saying? I'm all about culture and friendship and good vibes in the locker room, but at the end of the day, none of that matters when your best players start looking around the league like, what am I doing wasting my time here? Oops.
have to do with, hey, let's not disrupt, a pretty tight-knit group?
Well, Mike, we've kind of doubled down on continuity, and I do think it's a really great question.
Triple down.
As we've gone forward, that's served us well. But I always say, we have to earn that. There's no sense in keeping it together if it's not going to lead to winning. And so, look, we've stumbled. Jalen's missed. We were, I want to say, like 21 and 15 or so, playing pretty good basketball. And, Jalen got hurt. He's missed, I want to say, 16 out of the last 17. And we've been in a tailspin through that period. So I don't want to just sit here and endlessly say, that stuff is going to override, improvement. Because if we need to get better, we got to do what we got to do. One of the elements that goes into this, though, is, I can't, say it again, but, like, we would like to see who we are before we make more seismic changes to the team. We looked at deals where we could kind of nibble a little.
We see who you are. Everybody sees who you are.
A little bit.
You're a playing team at the moment.
Add a shooter here or a ball handler there. And we felt that they weren't going to be impactful to the team, or they would have cost too much. And so, what we decided to do was say, like, let's see if we can get back to where we were, because, those words have served us well, and we need to keep our finger on the pulse of that as we go through the rest of the season.
I'll translate everything that just happened. So I'm guessing because he likes lowballing, which every GM should want to do, lowballing offers. I'm pretty sure he did take calls. I'm pretty sure he did receive calls, but it was just a bunch of, let me get this young player, let me get this first round pick. I mean, like, if the rumors are true about Cam Johnson, if the Nets are requesting 2 first round picks for Cam Johnson, then that tells you everything you need to know. Why would the Magic give up 2 first round picks for Cam Johnson, and he's most likely going to be coming off the bench? Stuff like that I get. The other thing, I'll play devil's advocate. I haven't finished the interview yet, but Wendell Carter Jr. was not trade eligible. He's only trade eligible in the offseason due to when they gave him his extension. So including him in a deal in the summer would probably be better. Because I don't think they see long-term future with Wendell. So not being able to include him in a deal during the trade deadline, that probably has something to do with it. Because I think they're swinging high. That's what I would like to think. They're probably like, hey, let's see if we can get Trae Young. That's what I would be doing. But I don't know if that's their thought process. I don't know if they consider him a high-character individual. But I've seen other people's reactions. It is true. Like, you could have upgraded, like, Corey Joseph. You could have upgraded Caleb Houston. You could have done something small. The fans weren't asking for a splash like Trae Young or like LaMelo or anything like that. But whatever.
Jeff, besides just the shots not falling, are there any, and injuries, obviously, are there any schematic reasons because of the injuries why the Magic are shooting so poorly from distance this season? I
mean, Mike, man, that we've spent a lot of time discussing that. I mean, this is pretty much the exact same roster that shot 35% last year.
All right, I was able to speed it up now.
Right.
Pretty much all of our players to a man are shooting career lows. I've never seen anything like it. I'm not sure if adding a role player who's a good shooter is going to upend all that and all of a sudden, put us in a different direction. We did look at possibilities of that, but felt the price was too great. And I think this, Mike, while we go through this, and I know that we won 47 games last year, but
after this, I'm just going to cut it off because
the team that hasn't really
it's a bunch of talking in circles. You know how it goes.
And also evaluating them. And so, we're dealing with adversity now. We need to see how we manage this. When we do make that change, when we do kind of rearrange the roster, we want all of our arrows in the quiver. We don't want to be moving, first-round picks or valuable players to kind of tweak things in case there could be, bigger moves that we need to make or get to make on the horizon. So I think all that going in is kind of all the questions you're asking kind of
bigger moves we get to make on the horizon. This is who I want. Devin Booker or Trae Young. To me, those seem like the most realistic, could happen this offseason type of moves. The Suns got some weird stuff going on. Atlanta got even weirder stuff going on. They sold pretty much the whole team, almost. That tier of player, Anthony Edwards, obviously you would love him in Orlando, but I don't think he's going to leave Minnesota. I don't think he has a real reason to. Yeah, so realistically, like a top tier, like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening, is probably like Devin Booker or Trae Young. But let's let him finish this little...
kind of lead back to, like, who are we? And so I think we need to still understand that and right now, not hit the panic button. So I am disappointed that we didn't come out with anything. I'd like to have maybe had a little bit of an impact player added to our team. But that said, we just weren't ready to kind of chase it and kind of throw away what we've been building the last few years.
All right, so that pretty much sums it up. I'll listen to the rest of it later. It's just like, I think there's like 10 more minutes on here, but it's just going to be him talking in circles. Like, oh, we tried, but, nothing really came through. We'll look at it again in the offseason. Anyways, guys, my final thoughts. Yeah, I think the Wendell Carter not being trade eligible had something to do with it. I think with this whole first apron, second apron, teams are just trying to load up on picks and offload salary. They're probably just asking for first round picks. Like, I know Kobe White was a player that was talked about as far as like the Magic. They're probably asking for first round picks for him. I don't know if he was even going to start. He probably would have came off the bench. So it's just like asking for first round picks to get a bench player. It's just like, I don't know. You know how it is. So let's say the only way he's going to be able to make up for this is if we get, I'm talking about top tier player like Trae Young, Devin Booker. Those two are on my wish list. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. A lot of frustrated fans out there, and I understand. Like, comment, subscribe. More videos on the way. I appreciate y'all for watching. And I'ma holla at y'all later. Peace.